What's going on, everyone? Goddrifter here, and welcome back to another live stream. So as you can see, I'm not in my usual place, which is literally the Maze Bank. I am indeed in a carnival, and bring those boxes over there. So here's how this works. All right. Now, if this is your first time seeing my garage, you probably would know that I have so many cars in this game to the point where I literally might as well get myself a car dealership due to the fact of how many cars I have. For example, let me just buy a car real quick, and so we can actually get started. Alright, so we're going to my boy Benny. What's new? This is basically alright, since I bought the car, I can actually drive around this go-kart. And we're going to my first garage, and so I'm wondering which garage would that be?
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know.
Alright, so there is Del Perro, Davis, Mirror Park, Route 66, which is all the way north of the map. Mitsubishi Beach, Office Garage, Nightclub Garage, the Arena Workshop, and the Arcade Garage. So
I'll get back to work.
Let's go with the first one. And that is the car garage, which is by far the cheapest here's apartment you can actually get into for heists. I know I cannot control it. It's a one-seater. Alright. So we're going from front to back, and you'll find how interesting these cars are. Alright, so first off, we have my Cosmic Tornado, which, when I was completely honest, this is actually my first ever time keeping a car like this. The one it's based off of is half and half. Half of it is a 1956, not 56, 19. The roof is a 55, if I remember correctly. Back end is a 57, but the front end is 58. So what we have here is basically a mix of three Bel Airs. but it is a Bel Air coupe. It's supposed to look like this, and it's big enough to actually fit 2 people. Um, so you're wondering, okay, what is it based off of? I primarily based off of a car from a movie. As you guys heard, of American Graffiti. You know that in 1958, Chevrolet Bel Air Impala is in that movie. So I decided to replicate as much as possible. But due to the fact that these are street tires, it doesn't usually came with white walls. Alright, let's move to the car from my right, or as most people's perspective, my left. So yeah, I'm going by right, and is my Bugatti gun, primarily based off the Detomaso P72. And keep in mind that this is a concept car. Now, you might not think it isn't, but it actually is. I mean, then again, when's ever the last time Detomaso made an actual car? Which, the only car I know that they made is the Panthera. And usually that has a Ford V8. Not to mention, the car is unique that it opens like this. As in the entire part of the car. Yeah, that's basically one part of the car. The entire back end opens. And then I don't know about the front end, but I'm pretty sure the front end doesn't open. Probably due to the fact that this splitter is gonna make things a little bit more difficult. Up next, my what I say, I might as well just mention these two together, but these are the go-karts that you actually see. Here's how I got go. So right after a week after the Cayo Perico heist, it turns out that these vehicles, you can actually win these cars through, what's that called? You can win these cars, because, they're the reason why. Actually, no, that's not the reason. The reason is because of the heist challenge, and the heist challenge we broke that mess was literally we broke that mess through our backs, and we broke it twice over because we accumulated $1 trillion. He's wondering how much is $1 trillion? Well, let's see. Buying the most expensive apartment, buying everything the most expensive thing possible, including buying the things from the Cayo Perico heist. You would know that okay, it's not enough money to actually give away. But each of them is different. So right off the bat, this is actually this is the only normal car I ever had. Well, that one is basically to the point where it's actually a race car. This one's more of a grocery getter. Yeah, like literally just all I do is just put some groceries right under my legs, and then I can go. Sorry about my voice crack. Next up is my Evo 10, and this is probably one of my older cars that I ever owned in this entire game. But it had gone through some changes. It was red, and then it was black, it was white, and then it was purple. Oh no, white purple. And then it was red, and then it was blue, and then it was silver, then it was yellow. I don't know why I picked yellow in the first place. And then it was black, and then the Arena War DLC came out. I got red headlights, and I changed it to black. So most likely, you can say that this is known as the White-furred red-eye bunny. Sorry for that really long description on what I meant by that. But I'll show you what I mean when I get out of the garage with this car. Anyway, up next is the Coil Brawler, aka the Local Motors Rally Fighter, a car company that is actually from here in the US. It's just that we don't actually have sorry. Yeah, this car is actually interesting because what most people don't know is the fact that this thing is probably one of our fastest off-roaders that ever come out in that year. Well, I would say fastest now, but the GMC Hummer EV beat us to it, so there's that. Um, so yeah, um, six spoke wheels on off-road tires, an off-road tire in the front, an off-road tire on the roof. It's just in case if if something happens. I'm pretty sure they're different set of tires, but you never know. Because we want to the murdered out Osiris over here, which I do like that look of murdered out supercars, but at the same time there is such thing as overkill. But this car, I don't see an overkilled murdered out vehicle. I see a very good looking stealth fighter. And just like the Tingen over there, I think this thing has butterfly doors. So, yeah. But it doesn't, but the entire part of the car isn't a door, at least. Well, let me drink more water real quick. Excuse me. Alright. Up next is the Autark. This is, even though the company is based off of Koenigsegg, this is actually based off of the, I forgot what this car is based off of. I know it's based off of a kit car. I know that for sure. But more importantly, the actual car itself, it's kind of an amazing feat that they actually add this, because I mean, let's be honest here. How many people actually wanted to have a track toy like this? Anyway, up next we have the X821, based off of the Jaguar CX-75. Here's the thing, I was planning on painting it red, but I'm like, wait, how many red supercars I have? that is that is not British or anything like that. By far, best sounding supercar ever heard. It's kind of obvious to the fact that this thing houses this noise. Oh, and it has butterfly doors. So yeah, I literally decided to keep it clean. The only thing changed about it was the color, the interior color, and the license plate. Okay. And last, but certainly not least, I thought the floor was dirty. It is my whiteout. It's basically the opposite of the Osiris. My full-on whiteout Mercedes 300 SL, or AKA my benefactor Sterling GT. So what those are wondering was based off of the 300 SEL, not SEL, 300 SL, along with my Amoresto plate. So, and not to mention, this thing is quick for what it is. I mean, yeah, the most quickest vehicle happens to be a Ferrari F40, but details. Anyways, it's time for me to get out of here and let's go on to the next garage. Oh, actually, oh, never mind. It had red headlights. Oh god. Okay, there we go. You moron. Damn morons.
What miracle did you want me to perform? Good to go.
Okay, I'm good. Alright. Sometimes, yeah, okay, at least I didn't break my headlights. I'm good. Alright. Headlights. My first garage, and yes, I might want to say my first garage, as in this thing holds memories. I remember when, like, this is like my first time playing GTA, and I don't know what to buy. So I settle in on this apartment. Really, I thought this was an apartment. How was that for sure? Because of where the buildings are. But what I didn't realize is the fact that this thing is, well, a garage. I'm like, man, I need to know how to make money better than this. Like, I see, I need to know how to spend better. Okay. So without further ado, this actually changed throughout the years. Um, so going from nearest to, let's see, it's going from this side and then going from here. Alright, so first off, this is my newly acquired my Premier, or aka my Chevrolet I think it's a Chevrolet Cobalt? Oh no. Um, yeah, when I tried to like grab another vehicle, it apparently it apparently I ended up getting to a getting to the getting in the garage cutscene. I'm like, wait, what the? And then don't worry, this thing's gonna get replaced soon. I was like, for show. That for show. Um, so yeah. Um, anyways, welcome to the 1930s. Today we're going to be looking at this Cadillac over here, aka the Cadillac. Okay, let's see. Aka the 1934 Cadillac Town Car. Now, that's what its real life counterpart is, but this is known as the Albany Roosevelt Valor, a um, a sport classic that can actually house 6 people. Most likely two. Let's see, 2 on each side, and I think you can actually have handlebars on the car to actually you know, to actually what's that called? To like, oh yeah, on the side with some there's a Tommy gun apparently. Um, Here's the thing. I was about to paint this based off of the it's all Al Capone's 1934 town car, but I decided to go with bronze because that's probably the more logical choice. Not to mention, his was the first armor. You see, he invented the armor car. I think, I don't know. But all I know is that he made sure that he doesn't die in this vehicle. So here's that. Uh, well, eat your heart out, Benz fans, because I turned this into an off-roading vehicle. So yeah, um, basically I turned this thing into an off-road vehicle. It wasn't bad, I know that for sure. It was tan at one point, and then and now it's full-on black with matching wheels. Oh great. Um, okay, in order to make this quick, um, dub stuff based off of the not AMG GT, AMG G. I think this is based on the G63 AMG. Sure, Roosevelt Hearst. The Lincoln Town Car. Hearst. Um, Obey Rokoto. Half Porsche Cayenne and half Audi Q7. And the Evron E-Arctic Hilux.
Thank you for calling back.
Ow. Now I'm gonna park here, and if I lag out, no, yeah, if I got kicked for being out too long, you probably would know why. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, let's move on to what's the next one?
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride? Okay, I got stuff to do.
Alright. So, up next is Mirror Park. If I remember correctly, it's this garage.
My bad. No way!
Yes, wait, that is a Cadillac. Anyway. Sorry about that. I had to carry 3 water bottles in 3 bags. Anyway, this is the only car that's in there because I moved one of the cars into another garage. Actually, 21. Now, how rude of me. What vehicle is this? This is the Frankenstein. Is obviously a custom hot rod that is not in the muscle class. Yeah, surprisingly. This, in fact, is a, it's a sports classics. It's a sports classic car. And you're wondering, okay, is there a real life equivalent to it? Well, it's another fiction car, but I can tell you what it actually, what it is based on. This can be based off of the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker from one of the Hot Wheels cars, and it's very iconic at best. Due to the fact that is like it's literally it has the it's giving attitude, and also it sounds pretty good. But I expected the okay. Anyways, the next one is gonna be pretty far because the next garage is at Route 66. going to Route 66. It's not because it's definitely not because not me is wrong with going to Route 66, but it's the fact that I have really nice cars, and they're really nice cars like this. Alright. So yes, this is what I mean by I have two really nice cars. One of them, even though it looks very ugly, it's actually a really nice car to me. Yeah, I can't believe I have two of my nicest cars being cramped up here. And it's because I need, well, obviously I need a vehicle to actually get through, not to get through, I need somewhere, as I need somewhere to spawn, so that way I won't have to like go all the way to the city to Route 66. When it's like if I can sell missions, I can actually just that way I can actually like, oh, this is bike sales week. I might as well just switch my spawn position to Route 66, so that way I can actually just get started and then just do all my rounds. Anyway, so let's start off right here. This is my stock R35 GTR. I haven't gone to customizing it yet, and keep in mind I had so many of these things to the point where I know the ins and outs of this car, and most likely, um, just customizing it doesn't go wrong. And when on my left, we have what essentially is a very overpriced BMW. Well, it's not even a BMW. It's not even a BMW actually. In fact, oh my god. Yeah. Well, as you can clearly see, um, the badging is weird. And here's the thing. This is a Fister car. Yeah, this is a P Fister car for some odd reason. But it's like, you know what? Let's just make it an Albit. Let's make it an Ubermacht. But no, it's not even both those cars. Right? In fact, you can say that this thing is a literal, it's a literal Cadillac. So what it is like overpriced luxury car, has no customization whatsoever, other than liveries. But that's all you're getting out of this. Ay, ay, ay. In fact, the reason why I had this in the first place is because I think one of the weeks in GTA, they were giving away 2 specific vehicles for free. One of them was this, and guess how much this thing cost? Yeah, this might as well have been 610 grand because of how overpriced this vehicle is. And not to mention, you can modify it to be a weaponized vehicle. And then in terms of the other vehicle that you probably will see soon, excuse me. It is, where is it? This thing. The Night Shark. Alright, so, right now, in fact, alright. Alright. Hold on. Let me just check if let's see. I want to call my mechanic and see what's next.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round.
Oh my god.
I'll get back to it then.
I need to call my assistant. Oh, god dang it. Didn't realize I was in MC. See all the abilities. I want to request a luxury helicopter.
I'm gonna need you to move out to my landing zone. Welcome aboard. I got it from here. Enjoy the complimentary champagne in the back. Work, 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 work. Be good now. I'll be waiting for another call.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good to see you, boss. Oh, hi. What can I do for you? You got a nice fleet, boss.
I drove my
Your personal
LG
vehicle is
for a little
being
bit.
brought up now.
Now it's time for me to actually get my revolter and then head on to the clubhouse. I mean, at this point, it's might as well just stay in the city than to actually, this is by far the heaviest sports car ever. Even though this thing is a commercial sedan. In fact, I meant to actually buy one of my bikes back. Hey guys, well, due to the fact that it was a new a new update, meaning I need to get new vehicles. So yeah. And you wonder what that is? Well, it's my Nightblade.
Hey, you my dude, right?
You're wondering why do I like the Nightblade so much? Because it reminds me of a motorcycle that is from the Crew 2, aka the Harley Davidson Iron 883. Alright, let's go on in. Alright, so don't worry, 5 bikes will turn to 6 soon, due to the fact that, actually speaking of which, why do I have so many red bikes?
Whoa! You been treating yourself at the bike shop? Now that's an attractive bike. For a serious hardened criminal. Whoa! Now she looks pretty. But not in like a girly way. Enjoy the ride!
There we go. Now it has some diversity. Oh wow, okay, I end up modifying a bike and modifying a vehicle and a mod shop. Alright. Huh. But the question is, dear Lord, alright. There's my bike. Alright, so okay, so let's start on reviewing the bikes. What's my controller doing? Ugh. Okay, apparently smacking my controller just smacks me into third person. Okay, so let's start off with my favorite, according to this game, my favorite bike, which is the Nightblade. Now, for those who don't know, yes, it is kind of a Harley Davidson type bike, but it's not just any Harley Davidson. This is in fact a Iron 883 knockoff, which, well, I don't know, is kind of like my favorite Harley out of the ones that are coming out with these days. So you're wondering, what does this have? This has a twin cylinder 500, let's see, 800cc, which I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know about bikes that much, but all I know is that the reason I like this is because it reminds me of the Iron 883. Up next, it got ourselves an Italian motorcycle, the Bugatti A01. And for those who don't know what it's based off of, it's based off primarily based off the Ducati 1098R, which I do not know, this was a very infamous bike in the Club LA. It's because it's one of, if not the fastest bike you can ever own in any racing game. Period. Well, if you if you don't, well, that will be in the it'll be in the thousands. Nowadays, it's the big three: the guy Panigale, the Kawasaki Ninja H2, and the MV Augusta. So, take it how you will, but it's more importantly, is the most important bike in any racing game. Period. Next is the Sanctus. Now, this is a Halloween motorcycle. This is a Halloween bike. How do I know this? Because the Frankenstein, the Sanctus, and another vehicle known as the Lurcher are all Halloween vehicles. And ay. Okay. So those are wondering, this is indeed the bike from Ghost Rider. I don't know what to say, but other than yeah, it's a pretty cool looking bike. Up next, we just saw me change the color of, which is my what's it called? Suzuki yeah, it's the Suzuki Hayabusa. Well, it's primarily based off of one, but it's half and half. Half of it is based off of the Kawasaki Hayabusa, not Kawasaki Hayabusa, the Suzuki Hayabusa, while the other half is a Kawasaki Ninja. Now, these two bikes are very specific for a reason, and that is those bikes were king of motorcycles. Period. Heck, even the fastest Harley couldn't keep up with bikes like these. So, anyways, so for now, I'm gonna just call it the might as well just call it the Ninja, because Kawasaki. Uh, anyways, so this bike is old school. As in, it is pretty much well, it's almost as old as the Body 801, but this one is known as the Shizu Hakuchu. Now, I'm not trying to say that word because my parents taught me better, and yeah, it's kind of like that. Anyways, up next is the Nagasaki Shotaro, and this is obviously the Tron bike that which apparently they made a literally a fast motorcycle. I know that for sure. Anyways, just in context, just letting us know in context, Shizu is okay. Yeah, it is a Hayabusa, and at that point, yeah, the Shizu is Suzuki, while Nagasaki is Kawasaki. So yeah, obviously the Tron bike from the newer movies, if I remember correctly, it's pretty good. I actually did like the soundtrack of it as well. And then last but not least, it is my very own dirt bike, which Fun fact is you end up using a bike in an off-road race, you will not be like that. You will not be like this much. The fact of how sticking overpower any four-wheeler or bike is. So, without any further ado, let's go on to the office garage.
Fuck around, lay around. Hey! Yeah, what's cracking? Go CNI. Greetings.
I don't know, I wish that the clothing in this game are a lot more, not loose per se, but at least have a realistic feel to it. Like for example, let me just grab my winter outfit. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Like, see what I mean? This is what I mean by any wish it was a little bit more realistic. Because Jesus. Yeah, apparently the the coat is literally attached to my legs, literally. So let's play on. Oh my god. I don't like my controller. Okay. Alright. Anyways, let's move on to the office garages. Prepare for me to ramble because there are a lot of history within these walls of my own garage. On garages. Alright. Now these are known as the one-off specials. So instead of going from bottom to top, I'm gonna go from top to bottom. So I mean that's first floor, that's second floor, and there we go. Alright. Let's start with the last car, and then we'll keep on going till we're at the end of the first car, and then first car, last car, and then last car to first car. Alright. So, oh my god. Anyway. First off, we have literally the most overpowered car in the entire game. And I'm I'm not saying it because, well, actually it was the most overpowered car in the game at one point, and that is the Dubachi Wagner. Now, for those who do not know, it is based off of two vehicles. One of them is the Aston Martin Valkyrie, and the other one is the Aston Martin Valhalla. Now, obviously, these things are fast, but the Valhalla seems to be the street variant of this vehicle specifically. Anyways, up next we have probably the second biggest. And I say second biggest supercar for a reason, because compared to this, compared to, my goodness, where's the Tyrant? Tyrants. Where in the world are you, Mr. Tyrant? There it is. Yeah. This thing is huge compared to this. And not gonna lie, Chevelle, what were you doing? Anyway, so what is this car based off of? It's primarily based off of the Hennessy Venom F5. It was one of the newer hypercars that were shown off at SEMA, and and at the time it had over 1500 horsepower. I don't understand why this car is ridiculously slow, and there is a reason why this thing is slow. It's because Rockstar messed up the vehicles by giving the car slow handling flags, which, for those that do not know, if you try to, well, if you try to double clutch, the car will stall instead of giving an extra boost. And not to mention, the aerodynamics is pretty awful. And not to mention, this thing is heavy. And by heavy, I meant heavy. Anyways, up next we have the Coil Cyclone. Oh, I forgot what's what's called. It's called a Typin. Anyway, so Coil Cyclone, obviously a Rimac 1 concept, and obviously it's actually a very relaxing car to drive. The fact that not only it's an electric car, but it's a good car to actually mess around with. Or you can actually be that one guy that role plays in that role plays as a rich guy who actually has a very good investment on electric cars. Alright. Up next, we have my, what's that called? This is my, Bugatti Charon, or the Chufade Nero. And here's the thing. I was planning on making it like a full-on white Bugatti, but this color beat me to it, so there's that. For those wondering what this is, it's a midnight blue with a gasoline green pearlescent. And so far, it looks good. Anyways, up next, we have a Bugatti Devo. And let's see. Yeah, basically, it is a Bugatti Devo, but, I think mine's a little bit different from everybody else because I didn't bother putting the wing on. And, yeah, it's actually not bad. And not to mention, best fitment out of all the cars here. Just saying. Anyways, do like the wheels. That's the reason why that's the reason why I have kept the wheels in the first place, because it looks pretty good. Up next we have the Progen Amaris, the McLaren Senna, the third most overpowered car in the entire game. Now, here's the thing. When did it, I want to wait. When this car came out in? I know it came out in one of the updates. I know that for sure. But I think it was one of the recent updates. Okay, it's right here. The Diamond Casino Resort update, and they gave us two very powerful cars. And guess what? The Arena War car is the car that's right next to it. It's the fastest car still. Yeah, the fastest car still. And here we have the classic Amaris, which oddly enough has what was I saying? Oh yeah. So what's that called? Anyways, yeah, the Amaris is pretty much the third fastest vehicle in the entire game. Well, it was until the thing called well, the fastest vehicle in the game now. It's a boat. And no, I don't mean that it's heavy. I meant it is a literal boat. Yeah, this actual machine of a vehicle. It's the fastest vehicle in the entire game. It was fast to the point. It was fast to the point where it actually where it can actually rivals supercars. Anyway, that's certainly not least. We have, let's see, yeah. Last but not least, we have the Devastating 8. Obviously, based off the what's that called? So it's based off of the oh my goodness, what was it called? It was called the Devo, the Devo 16, which is probably one of the better ways to actually so in terms of context, this thing's supposed to have over 5,000 horsepower, but unfortunately, this is the only time where a lot of people are like, man, it's a fake supercar. It's like, okay, it's like, okay, and this is so yeah, it's one of the better cars in the game. But here's what I recommend: save your money, and then just in case the car gets a discount, buy it. Because trust me, if you buy the car half like on sale, then you won't regret it. Alright, so for you JDM fanboys, it's probably gonna be your favorite shoot, I think I need some more money. I say, speaking of which, let me just grab my my Sun Arrest. Because apparently every 24 minutes, or actually every 48 minutes, bills need to be paid. Yes, sir. Alright. Move out of the way. I need bills to be paid. And wait. Oh god dang it. Of course it's $600. Oh my god. Holy crap, the popularity is gone. That explains everything. Alright. Alright. I'm sorry, is you guys wondering why I keep saying yeah. Why are you a freaking helicopter? I'll continue this later, but right now, I'm trying my best not to actually not have to go to every single garage I see, but at the same time, I can actually go for something like this. Alright. These are 745. Alright. So that's okay, that's around 7 grand. Okay, I should be good for the next couple of minutes. Now don't worry. Car shows about alright. So oh yeah. In terms of the car shows, I'm planning on doing these every if I have class every this is my schedule. My Mondays Monday is literally a GTA live stream. Tuesday and Thursday are gonna be my car shows. Let's see. Every Wednesday will probably be another what's it called? Every Wednesday is gonna be a Need for Speed Heat live stream. Every Friday is gonna be a Goddrifter podcast. Every Saturday, but depending on the occasion, every Saturday is gonna be a let's see, every Saturday and Sunday is gonna be a just racing live stream. So that way, I can keep my channel and content diverse. So, as I was saying, this is my Sun RS. In fact, this is my this is my IS300 2.0. So for those that are wondering, 2.0? Why 2.0? Well, it's quite simple. Because originally this was red and it had the drift bumper, and in drift bumper it had a bunch of carbon fiber parts, and it originally didn't have a wide body. So thus what you see here is completely new for what it is. Now I have a very good question in terms of any racing games. I'm wondering if Night Runner is gonna be on console right after the PC release, because obviously if the game is good enough, it can be ported to console. It's just that it's gonna be a lot of programming and everything else. Alright, so without further ado, up next is my Nissan Skyline R32 Gtr with deep dish TEs, like, well, actually I would say GTR, but I made this based off the GTST. Now, a lot of people like to recreate the Skyline from Fast and Furious and Too Fast and Furious, but for me, or most people just keep it clean, or there are those type of people that literally just full on went all out with their money, and then it looks anyway. Anyway, so why the GTST instead of GTR? Well, essentially, the GTST is kind of like a drive GTR. It's not gonna lie, it's pretty much a cheaper GTR. That's what it is. Only it's rear wheel drive instead of all wheel drive. And not to mention, it also holds the same exact value. So, yeah. Up next, my quote-unquote Civic Sport, or Civic SI. The reason why I say that is because this is obviously not a Civic SI, nor a Civic Sport. It's a Civic. This is a Civic Type R. I just made it look like a Civic Sport because it's one of two things. Either someone full on writes the mess out of it, or they recreate the Civic Type R. And guess what I did? I did neither of those. So what you see here is literally a smooth bumper, smooth hood, no crazy canards, no wing, well, except for the roof spoiler that usually come with the hatch model. Carbon fiber mirrors, full on whiteout wheels. They're 5-spoke specifically, and unfortunately, you can't lower this car, which is kind of sad. The fact of how ridiculously high the car is. Up next, we have the Civic Type R. Well, I will say Civic Type R, but I say yeah, it's a Civic Type R. Who cares? Anyway, so yeah, in terms of what my specs are, unlike this one, I went full on. If I went for a street race build, so most likely like as I need like the least weight as possibly. I need the least weight as much as I can. Um, a cut bumper, carbon fiber roof, carbon fiber spoiler, carbon fiber trunk, even a carbon fiber hood and wind deflectors. Um, obviously the what's that called? Obviously the with the roll cage harness, uh, bucket seats. It's kind of a big deal, and not to mention, um, you can't go wrong with a certain type of 6-spoke wheel, but it depends on which copy makes it. Up next is the current Sultan Classic. It's originally based on the Subaru WRX-STI, but if you're like me and everyone else, you kind of realize that this thing had Evo parts. So guess what most people do? They actually turned this into an Evo 4. Well, to be specific, I made mine to an Evo 5. That's either Evo 5 or Evo 6. But more or less, it's a pretty cool car, and not to mention it's ridiculously fast for what it is. Anyways, up next is my Mazda RX-3, or aka the Silvestra. Huh. Okay, that's it. That's actually pretty clever, because for those who do not know, in Japan, it was called the Savannah, while for us Americans, we known it as the RX-3. So yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. So, what was I wondering? Annis is literally Nissan and Mazda. Yeah, I kind of figured that out a couple of, let's see, like when this car first came, well, I say, the moment okay, here's the thing. You wonder how I know, how this car, what this car is based off of, or what the car company is based off of, is thanks to the Cunning Stunts main vehicle, which is this thing, the RE7B, which, well, those are wondering, is literally the RE7B is the 787B race car that won Le Mans using a not just making what's it called? Let's see, not only making this car what's that called? That not only it is the Reno's car, but it is the green and yellow, is the specific design on the car, which I'm like, oh, that's a 787B. What's that doing here? And here's the thing, I thought it was based off the very much older Nissan R390, which we will get a couple updates later. So yeah, Mazda RX-3, pretty cool car. I literally just want to keep it simple. Alright, last but certainly not least, for those who are fans of Supra, is that a Supra? Is that a Supra? Is that a Supra? Try saying the Supra again, and I will stinking shoot you guys in the mouth with saying Supra. You good? Good. Alright, let me explain this. This is my 95 Toyota Supra, aka the Dinka Jester Classic, which I am really confused about. Because, well, I was wondering, wait, there's a Jester? Wait, which one is the Jester actually? The Jester is right. Should be right here. Yeah, that's the Jester. The original Jester. Which came on the business update. This is the Jester Classic, which came out with the nightclub update. And yeah, that's actually some history for you guys. Anyways, last but certainly not least, at least we got the bottom floor, which is full of one-off cars. Obviously, the W Motors Lincoln Hypersport, aka the Bugatti Reaper. Now, half of it is a Lamborghini Huracan, but more or less is a Lincoln Hypersport. But what most people don't like about this car is the fact that it is the rear end. It's as if someone decides, oh yeah, let's make the car look it's like, you know what, let's have an edgelord create this car, and it's like, what are you gonna call it? I'm gonna call it the Reaper. It's like, okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh dear lord, you know what? It's like, you know what? It's good. Let's put it in the game and see how people likes it. No one buys it. And it's like, who in the world would buy this? Like, I know, like, this is coming from me, but yeah, actually, I actually did won this in the casino. It was a casino vehicle at one point. Up next is my GP1, which is by far the most detailed car ever, and by ever I mean ever. Like, this thing is no joke, and it's kind of a good thing I kept it because, well, wait, does it have the butterfly doors? It does. So yeah, McLaren F1. I decided to make it look half and half. Half of it is the LM, and the other one is the GT. So yeah, that's my brief description of the McLaren F1. Up next, it is Dubachi Spector Custom. Obviously, a Aston Martin DB10. But the actual bike kit is apparently based off of the Liberty Walk kit that you can actually buy online. But it's gonna be an expensive build. So you're wondering, what's my favorite thing about this car? Obviously, that's my favorite thing. So, if you're wondering why this color scheme specifically, well, I do have some history behind another car I used to own, and that is the Grotty Turismo R. And that one was based off of the LaFerrari, and I had it white with red wheels and carbon fiber parts. It was the perfect trifecta: white, red, and carbon black. So, yeah. Up next, is my RWB, aka the Comet Retro Custom. Now, I know like some people do not like owning one of these because a lot of people prefer the older Porsches, and I get what you mean, but at the same time, it's not bad. It actually looks pretty good. Well, the only people that don't think that RWs look good are Porsche purists. Like the moment's like, hey, it's like, you're a Porsche guy, right? It's like, yeah. Well, it's one of two reactions. It's either, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool, or that breaks my soul. Why would they do this to the car? So yeah, possibly the most whitest car in the entire game, and I would say whitest, but the the Tyrant beat it. The Tyrant was let's see. Even though the Tyrant was the widest, the Comet Retro Custom came first. Just believe it or not. Anyways, up next is my Italian Gtb Custom, based off the well, if you guys know your Liberty Walks, then you will know that this is based off the Liberty Walk 650S. But there are also hints of 570 in the front and the headlights, and Chiron Nemesis on the roof. But the rest is clearly 650S. Last but not least, we have my Nero Custom, or if you guys played Gran Turismo, the Bugatti VGT. Which at this point, it's is the most important thing in my garage, because I did save up to actually buy this car. It's not a bad vehicle, but it's pretty cool. Also at that time was probably the fastest thing in the stunt races. Time to move on to garage numero dos. Alright. So yeah, did you guys notice anything? Well, it's time for you to do the same thing but in reverse. So I'll start off with this, the classic Mamba, based off of the Ford, is based off of the Ford Shelby Cobra 427. This was the power plant for the GT40 to win Le Mans, and yeah, that's about it. Up next, we have my No Crowds older Ford Mustang. Used to own a newer Mustang, but since that one's gonna be in the podium soon, I'm going to save its space. So there's that. And not to mention, probably the let's see, most people don't understand how this thing is still faster than every single car in the entire game. Well, it's quite simple. It's because most people will actually use the newer muscle cars. Well, at the same time, um, they use a race car version of this, but this is a cheaper version of the race car version because if you're a returning player, you get those for free. But you're not a returning player, you have to full on pay 250 grand just for the same thing, but it has a livery. So, anyways, Mambo wheels, red paint job. Actually looks really good stanced. And I guess about it. That's about it. Up next is my GB200, or as most people have known this by the oh right, I forgot what this car is. It's the Rabbit Dominator based off the S97 Mustang, while this is the GB200. Oh, excuse me. But it's partly based off of the Ford RS200 from the Group B rally days. And last but certainly not least, in terms of cars wise, you won't believe what this is based off of. The Clique is based on the 1951 Ford Coupe. I didn't know this until I watched DCA's video on it, and I was actually surprised. Like, wait, what's the Clique? Like, it looks like a Ford Fairlane or like some sort of Volkswagen, but no, this is actually Ford Coupe, and it's a resto modded Ford Coupe, which makes it even better. And thus the Amaresto plate is born. So there's that. Anyway, I do have two completely built trucks that are different from each other. One of them is a blacked out Ford F-150 Raptor, which is a car 4x4, which I like this better than the 6x6. Why I like this better than the 6x6 is because the 6x6 actually has something that most people would dread, and that is a solid axle, which, for those who don't know, a solid axle is literally when it's literally on Jeeps. So, well, 1940s Jeeps. And you want to know what that looks like? Just check out Hertz's reaction to the Rowdy, and you will see why his 86 has like lift on the car. It's like, oh, because of the solid axle. Anyways, I actually bought this truck because, well, I need a new off-roader, so there's that. So everything is kind of blacked out, and I decided to keep it stock because why not? Anyways, this is Big Bertha 2.0. Well, I would say 2.0, but it's more like Big Bertha negative 0.5. Because here's the thing: Big Bertha was a four-door Ford F-250 that is beyond stretched. This on the other end is a different story. So yeah. Unlike the Caracara, this thing is white on white, which is actually a pretty good way to actually know about these things, because it's more effective if you know what you're doing. Now, here's the thing. Unlike the Fords down there, This one is full on Chevy. So let's move into the back because why not? Anyway, so here we have the C8 Corvette. Probably one of the newer cars. Well, I would say newer cars, but it was from the last update, and we ended up getting all the cars at once. So say how you will, but this is an interesting car because honestly, this is a knockoff of the C8 Corvette. Now, the crazy part is that we have a Corvette. Yeah, a C7 Corvette. And then we had to get the Blackfin, which was a C1, and then the Coquette Classic, which is a C2, and now we got a newer, modern C8 Corvette, which is the newest one to this day. Up next, we have probably my favorite car out of the I think it's the Casino update when this car was released. Yep, actually it's probably one of my favorite cars in the Diamond Casino Heist, and that is the VSTR. Now, what is the VSTR based off of? It's based off the newer Cadillac CTSVs, or if you want to talk about new stuff, it's based off the CT5 Blackwing. It's a CT5V Blackwing, which it actually looks pretty cool, and it has a V8. You can't go over the Cadillac with a V8. And not to mention, these things were sleepers back in 2011. Like, no joke. Like, a lot of people wanted these things because obviously these people wanted to experience the definition of fuel on no F's given power of a Cadillac. Like, it's insane how many people wanted that power on any car, period. Well, that's the power of luxury cars for you. And speaking of luxury cars, we have a luxury SUV, or luxurious SUV. And if you're wondering, okay, can you guess this? What vehicle do you think this car came from? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Okay, the answer is no, it's not from Need for Speed Underground. Well, I say it was from Need for Speed Underground 2, but no, this was the intro car from Midnight Club outside. This is the intro car from Midnight Club 3. Now, for those that are wondering, wait, what do you mean by Midnight Club 3? This is my only video game two of one or two of my video game recreations, which is absolutely insane. Which, not gonna lie, who has thought that I can recreate cars that are from a video game that most people remembered fondly, that most people either liked or hate? And it's like, why you don't like it? Like, it's too hard. It's like, well, video games are meant to be challenging, but like, how hard are we talking? It's like, I don't know, man. It's just hard. It's like, tell me, how hard is it? Anyways, pretty cool car. I can dig it. Anyways, up next is my replica of the 35th. Wait, no, is it 35th? No, 25th anniversary of the Camaro. Now, for those who are wondering, wait, what do you mean by 25th anniversary of the Camaro? Essentially, Chevrolet does this every single time, where literally, like, they give us anniversaries of the cars that were built by them, and they do a lot of their anniversaries. So yeah, you're wondering, what kind of car? So what is this based off? It's based on the 19. Let's see. If I remember correctly, it's based on the 1992 Chevrolet Camaro 25th anniversary. Yeah, that's 6 syllables. Believe it or not. And that is in literally, that is in a few words. So yeah, let's see what I got for this car. Anyway, the classics. Um, Here we have my Chevrolet Chevelle. Primarily based off of the Chevelle 4-door Malibu, which, for those that are wondering, it was rare because no one didn't bother buying the 4-door version. Instead, a lot of people bothered with it. A lot of people actually went for the 2-door version, and thus why these type of cars are rare, because they can be. What's my controller doing? Anyway, anyway, so I painted it gray. I didn't bother putting stripes, and had American Racing Torque 2 wheels, and it has a lot of power. Up next, we have my very own classic Camaro. I say this is indeed a Camaro build, without the wing, of course, because here's the thing: when it comes to the wing, literally it just cuts off where the trunk is. So it's, oh, sorry about that. It's kind of bad, but it's kind of good at the same time. Last but certainly not least, we have my very own. My I think I would say it's more of a, it's the I still remember. It's a Roman gold, and yes, I said Roman gold. A Roman gold I wouldn't say supernova. It's more of a, yeah. It's a Roman gold nova. That's what I want to call it. Anyways, so what I've done to it is literally, most likely, since it's a muscle car, you can go full on dragster or you can go on classic. I went with both, but at the same time, I went with something nice. So I went with these 5-spoke wheels. I didn't bother with the bug catcher because having a bug catcher is kind of overdone. Not to mention limits your vision in when you drive in first person. So yeah, there's that. So on to the final one. Now, okay, here's the thing. That one's Ford. This floor is Chevy. The top floor is Dodge, and it's for a very good reason. Because Dodge, if you know their cars, they're probably the heaviest thing that you can actually think of. Alright, let's start with my newer addition, and it is the classic Beater Dukes. Now, you're wondering, why is it called a Beater Dukes? Because when you first buy it, it came like that. That's why it's called a Beater Dukes. Also, added turbos and well, as I know I'm doing with this, pretty sure those latches aren't going anywhere. So yeah, I went with the classic cherry red, which is, not gonna lie, it's kind of hurting my eyes. But nonetheless, I went with street cage, and I went with these. I went with the customs. So yeah, that's about it. Up next, we have a obviously the most painful thing to see that it should have been on this car, but it's in on this car. Why, Rockstar? Why you keep playing with my feelings? Anyways, um, this is based off of the Dodge Charger. Well, I wouldn't say Dodge Charger Daytona, but it's more of a Plymouth Super B. The reason why I say that is because here's the thing. When it comes to the Super B versus the Daytona wing is a lot farther where the trunk is versus being moved up a couple inches. And obviously, um, I didn't put in the ram hood because I don't know if it's gonna fit or not. Anyway, see, that's what I mean. Up next is my only Fast and Furious recreation, and that is the um, it's the Deviant. Um, excuse me. Was I wondering? So you're wondering how is this my very own Fast and Furious recreation? It's quite simple because all the cars are from the movies. This is by far this is easily recreatable because well as I know, the Plymouth GTX has a very similar shape to the Dodge Charger from 1973 and the 74 AMC Javelin. So yeah. Up next is everybody's dream car that they want the newer version of. It is the Dodge Charger SRT8, aka the Bravado Buffalo S. Oh yeah, and just letting you guys know, Beta Dukes, Gauntlet Classic Custom, and Deviant. Alright, just letting you guys know. Yeah, it's probably one of the bigger cars that I haven't seen that haven't got a better treatment. So I'm pretty sure the next update, if we ever get ever got a new update, will probably be giving this car the treatment it deserves. Either that or it's gonna be either that or it's gonna run like the wind. So there's that. Up next is the Canis Mesa. What I will say is full on Dodge. It's clearly okay. He's like bottom floor is Ford Motor Company. Second floor is General Motors. This is Chrysler. This is Chrysler Corp. Canis Mesa, the Jeep Wrangler, the only thing I haven't driven these days. And you're wondering, why have you not driven this? Because I have something better. And by something better, I meant something more amazing than this. And that is this beast. The Canis Camacho is probably the only thing I knew that can be really fast if you do things right. Obviously, I got the bags and the missing doors like a real Jeep has. I don't like wherever that thing is. Last certainly not least, I have a most likely I think call it I think call it Reaper Black because although it is a black primary, but it has a midnight blue pearlescent. Alright, so it's time to move on to garage number 3 and get ready to fanboy because garage number 3 is literally full of cars that you didn't expect for me to own. Oh great. There's gonna be a lot of it is a long process. Yeah, no. This is sorry about that, but I'm not trying to get copyrighted. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's start off with the first car here. Wait, no. So we'll do the same thing with the first garage. And so yeah, let's start off with my least driven vehicle ever, and that is my Urmag Zion Classic, based off of the older BMW M6. It had some mesh wheels. I even stanced this at one point, and it looks pretty good stanced. Actually, in fact, I forgot how. It's been so long since I do, and I don't know what it sounds like. Okay. You know what the weird part is? Let me go to the modifications.
What are we doing today?
Oh my god. You won't believe this, but it needs to be known. Even though it sounds like this, apparently you can have this on your hood.
Making decisions is stressful.
Ay. This poor Beamer.
Be your best.
Ay. And I know some people that are BMW purists, and they will obviously will think that's that's not a really good way to actually spend on a modification for your M6. Up next, this is what I'm talking about. The one of two cars based off of video games. One of them was my Cadillac. The other one is this Obey AF Drafter, probably based off of 4 cars actually. One's an RS5, one's the Ford Falcon, one's the Bmw M4, and last but certainly not least, a certain M3 GTR from the 2005 DC Most Wanted video game. In fact, it was so dedicated to the point putting the most wanted plate on this car. So yeah, it's kind of pretty cool, but at the same time, I wish that most people would pay attention on what the car is based off of, and not give us an Audi, but give us a older. I know that we got an older BMW, but that's an E30. We're talking like E46, E36. Either of those would have been fine. Up next is my Yang manufacturer matter of fact, there's Slogan GT, primarily based out of the AMG GTR, but you can determine how you will. It's pretty cool looking, and that's why I have it. This is up next we have a Dutch well, I would say Dutch supercar, but apparently this counts as a sports car. Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, so what is this car based off? It's based off the Spyker C8 Allurian, which, for those who do not know, is probably one of the newer cars that Spyker made. Due to the fact that it is one of the only visor cars in the game. Anyways, the the A11, possibly the most famous and most infamous of the supercar world in GTA, because, well, believe it or not, you can literally break this thing and it'll be ridiculously fast. In fact, I had this car before. I really did, and this is literally my second one. I had one in like this combination of sea green and gasoline green. So yeah, that's one way to put it. What's more do I have left? Shoot. Next is my overflawed Morgan, based off of the I know it's an Apollo. It's an Apollo something. I can't remember, but it's a full-on. But it's a hybrid. But in this game's case, it's an electric car. As a certain not least, the overpowered king of sports cars, which apparently has a certain glitch that needs to be fixed, because this thing has a spoiler. See? Like, I approach it and it's missing for some reason. Anyway. This is probably based off of the the Aston Martin, what's that called? It's based off of two cars. One of them is the Aston Martin DB. Let's see, is it DBS? Yeah, the DBS Zungato, and the Ferrari 812 Superfast. So, yeah, you wonder what Ocelot is? Ocelot is Jaguar, and this is nothing like a Jaguar at all. I'm sorry, but it's kind of true at this point. Let's see. Alright, up next it is my Stansmobile, my Ubermacht Oracle, which is based off the BMW 5 Series. Now, you wondering, okay, why is the car look like this? Like blue, gold wheels, and a black license plate. Oh, it's going simple. I tried to recreate pure Q50's Q50, but due to the fact there isn't a Q50 in the game, I'm stuck using the M5. I'm sorry, but it should be fine. Up next, it is my Dubachi XS, based off of the BMW 3 Series. To be more specific, it's based off the 330i, and not gonna lie, this is my budget car. So yeah, a budget car that apparently was around 300k, and the 100k I got, I ended up stealing this car instead of buying it, and then fixed up everything, including the engine, and it just looks pretty good, murdered out. Up next, another one of my older cars. And you're wondering how old can your car get? Well, essentially, the only way you can tell your car is older or not just by how many what type of wheel it is. So, if I can point, okay, there we go. So yeah, these are carbon cheetahs, and no one uses carbon cheetahs anymore. Anyways, up next is a unfinished BMW M1 I8. BMW i8 mixed with an M1, and it's probably one of, if not the slowest the slowest supercar in the entire game. Like, I know there are some people that just love this car, but let's be honest, is it really gonna win any races? Like, just saying. Anyways, up next is the Lamborghini Countach. Obviously a what's this called? Obviously a Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. And it's actually not a bad looking car. In fact, I can actually see someone using this car in a GTA movie, in one way or another. Up next, up next we have a resto modded Mini Cooper, which is actually not bad looking. Has a carbon fiber roof, bucket seats, see, custom steering wheel with all the bells and whistles, and some Watanabes, because why not? Oh, and to make things a lot better, it has has the air intake sticking out. So and Vice City, people. Yep, this is my Lamborghini Countach, which, keep in mind, this was black once. It was red when I first got it, then changed it to black, and now it's white. Interesting how this actually works. Okay, let's move on to the final. Let's move on to the final floor before I can move on to the next garage. This is an interesting car. This is a Grotty Furia, which, well, as you're wondering, is based off of two Italian cars I didn't expect to actually come together. Well, three, because the front bumper is clearly Lamborghini Huracan Performante, while at the same time is the I think it's called a Battista, and then the rear end. Well, no, actually it's not that. It's okay. I think it's literally primarily based on the Battista, which I don't know what car company makes it, but apparently it has helical doors. Okay, okay. I hope I'm not the one that notices that in terms of these new car designs these days. Why is it right? Okay, why is the exhaust right next to where the engine is? Like, shouldn't it be coming out of the bumper, or like at least the bottom of the diffuser? But no, apparently it's right here. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know it, you love it. It is the Ferrari F40 which I've made it to look like a Ferrari F40 LM, which was a limited production Ferrari. That's right, that actually has taken the world by storm, and yeah, that's about it. Up next, this thing. This is an 812 super fast. Well, it's based off of two Ferraris actually. One was a 512 and the other was an 812. Both of them being front engine rear wheel drive cars. Well, actually the 812 being all wheel drive. And oh right, I forgot. Before I can move on to the Lambos, let me just clear things up, because I accidentally said that one of them is based off the 812. Okay, this is the DBS Superleggera. Let's see, not Superleggera, the DBS Zangato. I think that's what it's called. Wow, so many stairs. At the same time, this is based off of the well, at the same time, this is based on the 812 Superfast. And not to mention, this was really close. Was the what's that called? This is very close to shoot, what was that called? It was very close with the Pariah in terms of acceleration and top speed, but the Pariah just keeps on getting faster and faster. Alright, up next we have my murdered out Lamborghini Urus, and for those that are about to say, oh, is this based on the baby's Rockstar music video? No, I actually planted this out. It just happened to be the same time they actually plotted this music video for Rockstar. So anyways, I think the car has the new street wheels. I need to check. I just need to check on something.
What were you looking for? Anything I can do?
Okay.
Anything at all?
Yep, Mercy Concaves. Yeah, these are the new street wheels.
See you next time.
Level 3.
Alright, not to mention, this has red headlights. Just saying. Next is my Lamborghini Diablo. Trying to make it look like the SV from '95. And it's actually not a bad looking car. I just wish it was on par with the Turismo Classic. That's what it's actually called. And in terms of the Urus, it's the Bugatti Toros, and this is the Bugatti Infernus Classic. And yeah, that's about it. And last certainly not least, we have my Lamborghini Huracan, which I decided to make it look like a Performante. So if you're wondering, how in the world do I get my wheels like that? Well, it's actually quite simple. If you have the iFruit app, you can actually buy. Let's see, you can buy the wheels, color the wheels, and then have your stock wheels, and then like be prepared to buy stock wheels, and then it's like, oh, your order is ready. And then, boom, you got yourself some really nice, cool looking wheels. I talked so much that I need some water.
Fucked up.
Oh my god. There we go. Oh, wait.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride?
Okay, yeah, the
Okay,
nightclub
I got
garages
stuff to
are
do.
next. What in the...
Oh, wow.
Is it the same guy, or... There was someone that has a small key. Oh well. I can't. This never gets old. I do love my red headlights on this specific Lambo.
Tell your sister, call me. We gotta catch up soon, okay?
This turn this to my personal garage. Alright, so the next vehicle, next garage, will probably be. And
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
okay, so Arena Workshop and then the arcade.
Aight, I'll get back to work.
I'm still waiting to hear back from Burger Shot.
Jeez, man. Alright. And I went to the wrong garage. Yeah. Those are delivery vehicles. Just letting you guys know. Just ignore them. Alright. Let's move on to number 2. Numero dos. Alright. This is my garages. Anyways, this is my third and last garage. And believe it or not, this was actually my first car, which is the Chevelle Picador. It's primarily on the Chevrolet El Camino from 1965. That's kind of interesting. Up next, we got the Briozo 300, which was free during one of the newer weeks of 2021. So take that how you will. Up next, we got my very own classic Aston Martin DB5. Because nothing says classic than having a old school Aston Martin. Alright. So up next is my Tyrus. Half of it's based off of the Celine S7, while the other half is the McLaren F1 L. I think it's not the LM. Is the F1 GT Longtail. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Um, so yeah, probably one of my favorite handling cars wise. Uh, but we'll get to the handling cars later. Up next, we have the Volkswagen Beetle, or in this case, the BF Weevil. And I do love how it looks. Take an old school 1960s Beetle, and then this is, not gonna lie, this is literally a summer car. Like, no joke. Am I the one that's thinking this? And it's like, oh, okay, summertime. It's time to grab this car out. Up next, the newly acquired, what's that called? The newly acquired, Paragon R, probably based off of the newer Bentley Continental GTs. The cars aren't bad. It's just that I prefer the older model versions of these. But they haven't changed their style in years. And by years, I mean years. As in, the first ever Bentley Continental came out in 2003. And now they decided to change it in 2018. Yeah, 2003 to 2018. That's a lot of years that this car looked different than one or the other. Up next is my Sport Quattro from Audi, aka the Obey Omnis. And this is based off the S1 model version of the Audi Quattro Sport, or the Audi Sport Quattro. I know one thing for sure, you can actually drive around the snow in this. And yeah, that's about it. Up next is my first ever resto modded car, that being the Buccaneer. Not a bad looking car. It's just that most people think like, oh, okay, this car is not that fast. It's fast, but there are faster muscle cars than this, and can blame them. Up next is my Mitsubishi Eclipse. Let's see, my second / third gen because of the roof. Anyway, what's that called? This is probably my attempt to actually have a car like this in game, because pretty sure most people have probably done this. They either recreated the car from Fast and Furious to Fast and Furious, or they just went with a light blue with everything pink, and including the wheels. So it's like, oh, it's Japanese. Don't worry about it. It's like, you do realize that this is a USDM car, right? This is a DSM. Anyway, and then the last car on the list is the Italia. I think it's called the Italia RSX, and this is one of the newer cars in the game. Well, same thing with the Briozzo 300 and the Weevil, but this is but this is new, as in it came out in this update. So there's that. All right. So on to the second garage. Now the reason why I'm not going to the third garage is because the only thing in there is the Voodoo, and I want to be like, oh man, this thing is so barren and it's like one car. That just makes a lot of time. Anyway, behold my race car garage. Alright, so right off the bat, you know it, we all see it, is the NS S80RR, probably based off of the Nissan R390. I'd say it's probably the best selling cars in the entire game. I'd say it's on par with the newer F1 cars, but this handles like it's glued to the road. Up next, we got our formula cars. That being said, let's move on to the first one, being the Persian PR4. Here's a fun fact. Before this open wheel car came out, we were given an opportunity to actually win one in the podium. And in that moment, it's like, oh, we finally got something cool for once. And it's like, yeah, you guys got something cool for once indeed. Up next, we have the R88. Oh yeah, and these two are old school F1 cars. Here was Civic. This one is from the 80s, and this one's from the 90s. And then in terms of these two, one's an Indy car and one's an actual F1 car. The DR1 is probably based off of the newer F1 cars that you see back in the 2000s. So these are retro. So yeah, these are retro F1 cars. This is it's not old per se, but it's more like a newer is a new edge F1 car. This on the other hand is the Indy car, and I've actually made this partly based off of the what's that called? The Lewis Hamilton Indy car. Hold on. Alright, so on to the next 5, and then I can take one of these out for a drive. Okay, so here we have something interesting. This is probably based, so most of you do not know, this is a Comet Safari, a interesting take on the off-roading Porsches and deciding, oh, this can't make sense. But this is really important because you probably would not know this, but this is based off the this is based off the Porsche 959 rally car. And yeah, that's basically about it. Next, you got the Locust, probably the worst sports car to ever came out of the casino update. I mean, literally, this game just wants you to buy this thing, and it's like, oh yeah, let's hope we can actually hope we can actually avoid this thing. And it's like, no, you're getting it, no questions asked. Okay, up next is the Ocelot Swinger, based off of the Jaguar XJ13 concept car, and this thing is small. I mean, I know, like F1 cars are small, but this is small. I mean, look at my character. Look at this car. Clearly, you see something wrong here, right? This is, ay, ay. Anyway, here we have the Vagrant, obviously based off the Aerial Nomad, and it's meh. This is, and then last but not least, we got the Emperor ETR1, probably based off of the Lexus LC LF concept car, and that's about it. Alright, so let's take the S80R for a drive. Next up, is the Arena Workshop. Holy crap, I ended up messing the ended up crashing the absolute mess out of it. Alright. So let's go into the workshop level, and then we're going to be looking at the okay, so we're gonna look at the garage level first, then we're gonna be looking at the what's that called? And then we got the only garage floor I have, and that's about it. Okay, so first off we have, alright, get your roasting guns ready, because yeah, this is my Need for Speed Underground inspired Hyundai Trimbrun, or in this game is known as the Bullicon Prayer. It is in a sports class, which is well, it's not a sports, it's a compact class car. And yeah, like, what most people should have done to this car, and I feel bad for it. Alright, let's move on to the next. Three more cars. Up next is the Schwarzer, based off the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG Coupe, and apparently this is a V12, and it sounds good. Just wish the performance matches that of the Where's that? Matches that of the photo version of this vehicle. Next, we got another bike, the Sovereign, primarily based off of the actually it's quite simple. It is the Harley Davidson Road King, and let's just say that it is the least aerodynamic bike you ever seen. And it's probably because of these three boxes over here. Oh my god. And then last certainly not least, we got the Camry Intruder, which is based off of two cars. The rear end is based off of the Toyota JZX100 Mark IIs, while the front end is apparently based off of the what's it called? It's based off of the 2005 Infiniti Q45 from the mid 2000s. And that's about it. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, granted there are only two cars here, so okay, there you go. Let's start with this. This is the Stafford, based off of the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. I had this goth look to it, so yeah, it's actually not that bad looking. And also kept the wheels, which is a must, because if you change the wheels, then it's nothing more than any other resto mod. And last but not least, my baby, my oldest car that I still own to this day. It is my current Fudo, based off of the A6 Coupe, Civic the A611 Coupe model. And yeah, that's about it. Let's go to the workshop level. And let's take the let's take the you know what? Let's take the Rice Mobile, because why not? like, yeah, there's a reckless driver going on. I was like, dude, what? I'm not even. I was like, I didn't even hit you. What's going on here? Okay. Alright. So, obviously, it is time for me to review the final cars that are in my garage. And, no, those two don't count due to the fact that those are, in fact, heist vehicles. This, on the other hand, is my main garage. So let's get this out of the way. A Passer, not my favorite thing to fly because I keep crashing every time. Deluxo, it's helpful at some points, but it's probably the slowest flyer you ever get, and you might as well just use the buzzard. The half track, aka the Crusher, probably one of the cooler vehicles to ever own. Essentially the same thing, but in armored conformation. Armored Kuruma, same thing as my regular Kuruma, but it's one of my older cars. Nice Shark, I own this since the day that they made one of the cars free at one point. Scramjet, cool missiles, cool functions, just not good at driving it. And last but not least, the lousiest vehicle, the lousiest amphibious vehicle in the entire game. Alright, so that's it for now. Let me just grab my Bentley. Now he's like, I've been streaming for freaking 3 hours. Well, almost 3 hours. Ah, it's gonna be good. Okay. Yeesh. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this garage tour. I did have a lot of fun, even though I had to like help out someone in in the first couple of minutes of the live stream. If you do enjoy my garage tour and you want to see more garage tours, leave a like. If you want to see more of my interesting content, subscribe, and if you want to see what things you want to see next, comment down below. And last but certainly not least, hit the bell notification to be notified of newer stuff every day. And I guess that's all about it. Oh, right. Follow me on Instagram at Goddrifter247sun and follow me on Twitter at GD27S at Goddrifter247sun. And last but certainly not least, oh my goodness, so I can't camera. Okay, that's a little too down. Okay, there you go. And last but not least, I do have a Discord. It's known as Goddrifter247sun's Garage Museum. And Saturday, it's all car X drift racing stuff. So, if you're down with car X drift racing, then You can subscribe for more. Without any further ado, I'm from the guys that you go now. Hope you guys enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.